guys, welcome back to Fairies Tutorials. In this session, we're looking at CSEC Food Nutrition and Health question 4s from the exam years 2021, 2022, and 2023. And this video will provide you with the analysis of the questions where we look at the similarities and the differences. First, let's take a look at the topics and the objectives that governs this section, as this is where section 4 question will be formulated from. 1. Outline the production system of commonly used food commodities. Now these are like sugar, the production of cereals, dairy products, eggs, oil, and so on, right? Number 2, discuss the factors that contributes to food spoilage and contamination, where you look at warm temperature, moisture in proper storage, poor food handling, and so on. 3. Distinguish between perishable and non-perishable foods. 4. Explain how microorganisms contaminate food. Number 5. Explain the development and prevention of food-borne illnesses. 6. Outline methods of preventing food contamination. 7. Discuss the importance of food preservation. Explain the methods of preserving food. 9. Outline the importance of food additives in manufactured goods. 10. Explain the principles of heat transfer in cooking of food. 11. Discuss the effects of heat on the chemical composition and structure of food. 12. Discuss the use of raising agents in flour mixtures. And finally, 13. Explain the precautions to be observed when these raising agents are used. Now, are you ready to analyze the question with me? Okay, let's go. Now we're starting with 2021. The question reads, list 4 factors that contribute to food spoilage. That's 4A. 4B, define the term foodborne illness. C, explain how mold contaminates food. And D, explain the importance of any 3 steps to be followed when preparing green beans for freezing, right? Now, it's clear to say that these questions were formulated from the topic that spoke about microorganisms that contaminate food, also food preservation practices as well, right? And also factors that leads to food spoilage, right? Now in 2022, the question reads, state 2 factors that contribute to food spoilage and contamination. I know that you can see the similarities there, right? Because in 2021, it asked us about factors, to list the factors that contribute to food spoilage. And in 2022, you can also see it's telling you to state the factors that contribute to food spoilage and contamination. Over in 2023, it says state 2 causes of food spoilage and contamination, right? So very much similar questions. And as you can see, remember to answer as much to get your adequate mark. Now moving on to the next part, in 2022, it says, name 2 methods of food preservation. For each method of preservation named above, state 1 example of food that can be preserved using the method, right? And also, you are preparing a boiled cereal and toasted bread for breakfast. Explain 1 chemical change that is expected to take place when heat is applied to each of the breakfast items. And the follow-up to that says, while preparing the breakfast, you are baking a cake. On removing the cake from the oven, you notice that the cake is flat. Explain 2 ways in which you could have prevented this from happening. Good. All right, moving on now to 2023. Picking up at the question that says differentiate between the following methods of preservation, and you get drying there. You also get dehydration, and also a follow-up that asks about chemical preservatives and one food that can be preserved by the method of drying or dehydration, and also treatment with chemical preservatives. Now in 2022, this question that asks about two methods of food preservation. In 2023, they didn't really ask you to name widely the methods, but they gave you the two methods that they want you to tell them about, which was drying or dehydration, and also treatment with chemical preservatives. So you can see the similarities there as it relates to methods of preserving food. Good. All right, next part in 2023 states, name one food that is preserved by each of the method. And of course, we were saying that they are asking about the dehydration and also treatment with chemical preservatives. The next video that will come up will analyze all these will give you the ideal answers rather to these questions. Good. Next part, explain 3 different changes that may occur when heat is applied to cereal, and this is worth 2 marks. So each of your 3 explanation, make sure you have adequate amount of information to get your 2 marks each for that question. The question in 2022 also asks about the effects of heat on when heat is applied to the breakfast item. So the breakfast item were cereals, toasted bread. So it's speaking about how heat is applied, what happened to carbohydrates when heat is applied, as we have 2 sources of carbs there, and also we have cereal here repeating as well. Good. So you can see that these questions are very much similar, especially 2022 and 2023. Good. And also you find out that 2021 and 2022, the first 4A is basically asking for the same information. Good. And the final question there for 2023, explain 2 ways in which air is incorporated into a batter. Right. So for 2021 and 2022 ideal answers, you can find those videos on the channel. As for 2023, that video is coming up shortly. So stay tuned, guys. All the best with your exam, and I just want to wish you good luck. Awesome. You've made it to the end of the session. Please remember to subscribe, turn on your post notification bells so you can be notified when there's another upload. Most importantly, share with persons who you know will find this information useful. Thank you for making it Fairs Tutorials.